Welcome to Chaos to Come. You have adopted and the honeymoon is over. We are your hosts, Jody Randolph,
And Cindy Schultz.
offering practical advice and natural solutions to adoptive moms while maintaining your sanity.
Mhm.
Today we want to talk about how we handle stress and how do we manage the amount of stress that we deal with every day with being caregivers to kiddos with invisible disabilities and all that that brings with it.
Right, right. Yeah. Stress.
Who has
Who
stress?
is stress?
And
I,
stress, whether you label it stress or anxiety, I think it's still
right.
the same.
It's there.
Hmm.
It's there. Whenever you're taking care of someone, there's always some kind of
Right.
added, um, I don't know, not luggage, but
Just added stress.
added stress. You
Hmm.
get you're carrying more. You're carrying
Right.
more than
Hmm.
what one person normally carries.
Right. And I think in
Burden, that's the word.
the added burdens,
Yes.
the added burden, and yet burden can kind of carry a negative
Right.
connotation to it. Of course, I guess stress can too.
Uh-huh. And anxiety
Hmm.
and yeah, but it's there. It's
It's
built,
there.
it's
Right.
there. And we have stress all the time.
We do.
It's just with families like ours, we
There's
get a
an
little
abundance of
yeah.
stress because you are managing, well, for us, managing food allergies, managing emotions, managing children who are developmentally behind in their emotional and
Hmm.
social skills.
Hmm.
You are managing physical issues with them. You're managing all kinds of things
Right. And
that
you're
don't ever go away.
yeah, and you're helping heal from something
Trauma.
trauma that you
Hmm.
didn't cause.
Right.
And when it comes right down to it, you have no idea what it
Hmm.
was that actually caused the trauma.
Right.
You can sometimes we get little pictures of what our kids have
Hmm.
experienced, but no ways near what they
Right.
have.
Well, and I believe that when trauma is caused before they can actually verbalize stuff, they don't know how to deal with it.
Hmm.
I mean, you think of a baby who's experiencing trauma, even
Yeah,
if it's just the trauma of being separated from the birth mom
right.
or whatever other trauma that they've experienced, they don't know how to vocalize that. And so it comes out in behaviors, which then cause stress to us as moms or stress to the other siblings.
Right,
And they're behaviors that they don't really know why they're doing those behaviors.
right.
And they're behaviors that have to be corrected.
Hmm.
But it adds to that stress. And sometimes those behaviors, when you're trying to interact with other moms and other kids,
Uh-huh.
cause stress that the other moms don't want to deal with. And so then you've got the stress of being isolated or being not included
Uh-huh.
or not knowing whether you should invite somebody over to your house because what are your kids going to do? How are they going to act
Right.
and
Or
whatever?
you're feeling like you're being judged
Hmm.
or
Exactly.
something like
And
that.
all that contributes to the stress that we feel on our shoulders and in our body. And as our bodies are experiencing that stress, whether we know how to handle it or not, it's causing other issues
Uh-huh.
like memory issues for the mom,
Yeah. Yeah.
trying to keep everything going and doctor's appointments and all of that that goes with it. It causes weight gain or food eating issues or all of
We
this for the mom, not just
right.
for the
Because
kids.
we find our comfort in places where we
Hmm.
probably shouldn't find our comfort.
Like
You know?
chocolate.
Like chocolate is
Chocolate.
okay every
I
once in a
have
while.
dark chocolate chips in my refrigerator,
Yeah.
but it can cause sleep issues and fatigue and emotional mood issues
Yeah.
that as we're trying to balance everything, that can sometimes feel like it's all suffocating us.
Right. And logic flies out the
Hmm.
window, emotions take over,
Right.
and we lose it.
Hmm.
So
Right.
what do we do? But, in order before, so we don't
Before
lose it.
that, so we don't lose
Yeah, so we
it.
don't lose it. Because
So
let me
we
tell you, I've
don't
lost
eat
it
a whole
quite a
bag
bit.
of chocolate chips at one time.
What?
We do. We have to keep that balance as moms because that stress is going to come and sometimes it feels too much to handle.
Yeah,
So, how do we do that?
through all sorts of different ways. First of all,
Hmm.
making sure you're taking care of yourself, making
Right.
sure you're getting the sleep you need. God
Hmm.
uses that time
Right.
for us, for our brains to sort
For our
out
body
our
to
day
just
before and our
recharge,
exactly,
and
there's
heal
purpose.
itself. Hmm.
It is a purpose. And even though you might want to stay up because all the kids have just finally gotten to bed and you just want an hour, I just want an hour,
Yes.
you know?
Well, I would actually like to go to bed when they go to bed these days.
Mhm.
But my husband's a night owl.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and you can't see my face right now, listeners, but
It's all
yes,
good.
and I think that, plays into it too. You have to find that balance with your mate.
Uh-huh.
You know, like I'm a morning person and he's a night owl, and even though he's exhausted, it still takes time to get to bed because he's a night owl. It's not how
Right.
his body functions to go to
Right.
bed at 9 o'clock. But finding that balance,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so therefore, he has to let me take a nap every now and then on
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon
Yeah.
because.
So you can stay
But
up.
even with taking naps, that doesn't do for your body what getting enough sleep at night does.
Right. Right. There's
Hmm.
there's stages of sleep that deal with
Hmm.
different, and I don't know all the technical stuff. I know what my Fitbit tells me.
Which
But
Fitbit
you
tells
know
you.
but it's true. There's different stages of
Hmm.
sleep that deal with different parts of
Right.
our brains and of our days, and it helps us to sort things out. And
Getting enough rest is a key thing.
mhm,
Taking our anxiety and our stress to God first
yeah,
and praying through it.
yeah, before you call up that
Asking
girlfriend,
him to
yeah.
asking him to give you peace,
Yeah,
to bring the peace into your
the
heart.
peace that passes all
Hmm. And then
understanding.
you can call your best friend and vent.
Yeah, sometimes that's important.
Because
And
that too brings healing
mhm,
and helps as we're carrying each other's burdens, it helps to ease the burden that we're
yeah,
carrying.
yeah, God's
So, and I
provided those
just
people in our lives.
had a conversation with my best friend yesterday, and we're just sharing. She was just sharing the things that have gone on since we talked 2 months ago
Uh-huh.
because she's in another state. And just sharing that, I was able to help carry her burden, as she's trying to deal with some major stuff that happened.
Hmm.
And I think that that's important. Our friends, God gives us those friends for a reason. We don't have to share with everybody.
Right.
We just share with those people that are going to help carry the burden,
Right.
you know?
Right. Yeah, that's important. That is
Mhm.
hugely important not to share it with everybody,
Right.
because then we become all about the the stress or the
Hmm.
trauma, or
Right.
and then we become that person
And
that
not
no one
everybody
wants to
wants to hear about all of our stress.
Right.
I learned that early on as I was trying to figure out the issues that were going on with my kids.
Hmm.
And I didn't realize at that point that what I was dealing with was not typical mom stuff.
Hmm.
So I'm presenting my issues to typical moms
Right.
and was not getting answers, that I needed, but learning that, okay, I don't need to share it with everybody. Just got to share it with some key people, and God's going to direct me to where the answers are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's so important.
Right.
That is so important.
We need to work with eating right.
Yes.
Oh, big
That's
sigh.
I know.
Big sigh, big sigh. So, you guys don't have food allergies at your house too
We-
many, do you?
not a whole lot, not a whole lot, and I haven't dove into a lot of things, but gluten issues can be popular, can
Hmm.
be come along with Down syndrome and stuff like
Okay.
that. So we haven't had a whole lot of issues with that though. I have one
You
kid
can
allergic
say,
to strawberries.
thank you,
I
Jesus.
know because he knows what all he's put on my
Right. You have
proverbial
other
plate.
stuff
Right,
to deal with, but
right.
the food allergies bring their own amount of stress. Adoptive moms, we're not the only ones that have food allergies or don't have food allergies or
Hmm.
whatever, but it brings its own amount of stress. I think trying to eat right so that our kids aren't getting a whole bunch of processed food,
Hmm.
that adds to it. But eating right also helps with behaviors.
Yeah,
It's a huge help with behaviors
yeah.
when you let go of some of those things that aren't healthy.
Definitely,
Hmm.
definitely. I know we've been cutting back on a lot of sugar
Yeah,
and
cutting back on sugar is huge.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, because that sends you reeling. So
And if you start to read labels, you realize how much sugar's in everything.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but that is huge with balancing mood and for our kids and for us.
Mhm.
But please don't take away my chocolate.
Yeah, you know, you,
But even with that chocolate thing, I tease about it, but I have moved from milk chocolate to dark chocolate
uh-huh,
because it doesn't have as much sugar.
right,
Even semi sweet chocolate doesn't have as much sugar.
right.
And so there's ways to manage that chocolate.
Exactly, to make
Hmm.
better
Make better
choices.
chocolate choices.
Yes, make better chocolate choices. That could be a t-shirt.
Oh, make better chocolate choices. I might wear that t-shirt.
I know.
Hmm.
Oh goodness, but you know, and then there's always you know, making sure you're moving your body and
That E word,
yeah, I know that
exercise.
exercise, but it's more about, get out, and this is something I don't think we have in our notes. Get outside.
Get outside.
Get outside in
Do
the sun.
something.
Do something.
Hmm.
Go, get off of the
Hmm.
screen.
Well, and I think that has to be planned. And the
Yeah.
reason I say that, we recently did a puzzle ride. Have
Yeah.
you heard about puzzle rides?
I think I have, but go,
It's
tell me
kind
about
of
them.
like, it was explained to us as kind of like an escape room, but it's
Uh-huh.
outside.
Uh-huh.
So basically, you're solving a problem outside, and we had 75 minutes, 75, no, 90 minutes. I don't know, 75, 90 minutes, I
Uh-huh.
don't know, to do this in. And you can do Puzzle Ride in Prescott,
Uh-huh.
Arizona, and you can do them in Phoenix or Scottsdale, Arizona. And the puzzle master that was talking to us, she said they're also opening up a puzzle ride in Ohio
Uh-huh.
and another state. I don't remember which other state, but they take you around on the golf cart. You've got your clues, and
Uh-huh.
she will take you to wherever you need to go. And this was in Prescott that we were going. Had a little bit of history with it
Uh-huh.
because not a lot, just a little bit. We were solving a bank robbery from the 19 or 1880s, I think it
Uh-huh.
was. And so kind of fun to figure out this puzzle together. We were outside, it wasn't hiking, which I don't care for, and everything around our area
Areas
is
is
hiking.
hiking. Yeah.
So it was outside, but it was that moment of planning it
Uh-huh.
and then going and doing it as a family.
Yeah.
And hugely stress relieving for me as the mom
Yeah.
because we were doing something fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Wasn't
I have seen that on.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily the activity that a couple of our family members enjoyed super much because the puzzle part of figuring it out was challenging
Yeah.
for the dyslexia part of them.
Right.
But they still enjoyed just being together
Yeah.
and doing something. So I think that
That's
probably included movement. We got on and off the golf cart.
exactly. That's good. We've done like a scavenger hunt similar to that
Hmm.
where we walked around downtown and you do clues. We just did that for Jillian's birthday. Had a
Oh,
couple of
how
her
fun.
girlfriends come over and we just
Uh,
walked around and we could take a break when we want to take a break
so
and
did
then
you create the scavenger
no, I
hunt?
did not. It was online.
Oh, really?
Yes, there's all sorts of, and I don't have the information we'll have to find the information and maybe post a
Put it in the show
put
notes,
put it in the
maybe.
show notes. But yeah, in a lot of cities and towns across the country, they
Do the
do these.
scavenger hunts.
Yeah, yeah, and
Hmm.
it's all about landmarks and everything. And we've got a lot of them
That
downtown.
sounds like a fun thing too, which gets you outside, it gets you moving, gets you interacting in conversation with each other.
Yeah,
Hmm.
creates teamwork,
Right.
right? You
Hmm.
have a common goal,
Right.
and
Hmm.
yeah,
And some of that you might need to think about age appropriateness for your children.
right.
You don't want to do it with really young children. You might be frustrated trying
Hmm.
to watch them and figure things out, but great activity for teenagers.
Yep,
So, a lot of different things to help bring down the stress
right.
that we can do. One of the key things I think too is having the right natural solutions
Hmm.
to support easing those anxious feelings.
Exactly.
If you've been listening to our podcast, you know that I love my essential oils and sell my essential oils. So there are essential oils and supplements that you can use to ease those anxious feelings.
Yes, I mean, we just took a 6 hour drive to
Hmm.
California, and I had the my little car diffuser on, and you know what? I put orange and peppermint in
Hmm.
there, and I think it really helped
I'm sure it did.
everybody's
Hmm.
moods, and it's just like a little teeny thing,
Hmm.
but I think it really helped everybody have a
Right.
good attitude.
Yeah. Hmm. Essential oils are amazing, and you can use them aromatically, topically, or internally, depending on the brand.
Yes.
You can use doTERRA's essential oils internally, but doTERRA has what's called the adaptive line, and the adaptive capsules
Yes.
have been huge in our house with one of my girls and her high level of anxiety.
Uh-huh.
And she takes one every day. And when she doesn't take it, we have tummy aches because her anxiety is so high that she doesn't know how to deal with it.
Right.
And I believe that, we've tried to look for ways of, what's behind the anxiety. And I believe for her, it is just due to the fetal alcohol
Right.
spectrum disorder. And whatever happens when birth moms are drinking, whatever happens to the baby as it's developing,
Uh-huh.
and their nervous system and all of that they don't always have that ability to control those anxious
Hmm.
feelings or control how their body's feeling that stress.
Hmm.
And so, if we can use natural options for them, and so that is an option. We've also used balance, the wild orange, like you were talking
Uh-huh.
about, and frankincense every morning on the bottom of the foot,
Uh-huh.
just to bring that grounding and that balance and those anxious feelings under control.
Right. I personally have used adaptive when it's hard to breathe, when I'm feeling my heartbeat and it's
Hmm.
only,
And it's
9 o'clock
stress,
in the morning, right? And
right?
all of a sudden my anxiety level is up to my ears. And I have used that, and it has worked very well for me
Yeah. Hmm.
too. I also have it in a roller ball that
Yes.
I
Hmm.
will just roll it over my
Hmm.
heart, and then I have it in a mister spray that
Hmm.
sometimes I'll just walk by the kids. Hello, here we
Hello, let me
go.
spray the air next to you. Yes, the adaptive oil in the roller bottle helps immensely at our house as well.
Uh-huh.
I use it with my dad before we go to doctor's appointments,
Yeah,
just to bring down that anxiety and our anxious feelings.
right.
So another combination for moms, like at night, and everybody's in bed, and you just need to take that deep breath and relax, but you feel the stress and the tension in your shoulders
Uh-huh.
and all of that. I have used part of the aroma touch technique that has been developed by doTERRA, and have my husband put 4 oils on my back: balance, lavender, aroma touch, and deep blue, in that order,
Uh-huh.
one at a time. And he's rubbing my back. The physical touch is calming,
Uh-huh.
plus the oils are helping to ease that those anxious feelings and helping the muscles to relax and not be as tense.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Trying to say everything compliantly here,
Yeah.
but that's another good combination too for the mom if your husband or you have a friend that's willing to put those oils on your back to help.
Yeah.
hmm Another natural option would be the MetaPower Advantage, which
Mhm.
would be something you would do every day. That's the collagen,
Uh-huh.
and that helps with, reporting mood, helps with helping you to be able to manage
Your
blood
emotions.
sugars
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
emotions and mood and that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And the blood sugar,
hmm
that's important. That keeping your blood sugar at a good place.
Right,
And
helps with balancing
exactly.
everything as well.
Exactly. Because if your blood sugar's out of whack, you're exhausted. And
Well, and you can be moody. I mean,
yeah.
think of our kids when they're hungry, they're needing to eat.
Uh-huh.
They're
I can't
not exactly
think
happy.
when I have gone too long without eating, and
hmm
I'm at that point, and it's my husband and I joke about it and have joked about it for the almost 29 years that we've been, actually probably longer than the 29 years we've been married. We realize that once I'm at a point, there is no deciding where we're eating. I'm like, you figure it out. I will find something on this I'll eat,
I'll find
but I
something on the
cannot
menu.
make the decision right now. So,
Yes.
yeah.
And of course, don't forget your chocolate. That always helps in a pinch.
That's it. I know. I would say coffee, but it probably adds a little bit more to your anxiety. But
Might add the caffeine might add to the caffeine might add to your anxiety.
yeah, yeah.
So, just different options, listeners, that you can use
Mhm.
with trying to use natural solutions to manage the stress that is involved with
Right.
raising kids and just everything that happens with just being a mom.
Yeah.
Whether you have adopted or not adopted, you know, there are
You
times
have
of
little
stress.
stressors running
hmm
through your house, and
That's
you've got to
right.
acknowledge that it is
hmm
okay. It is okay that you feel overwhelmed. It is
Right.
okay. It's what you do with that
hmm Once
once
you get
you
to that point.
yeah, once you understand where you're at,
hmm
it's how you handle it.
Right.
And there's good ways and there's bad ways,
hmm
you know?
Exactly. And I think the key is that, we're always going to have those moments of overwhelm,
Hmm.
but we can manage those with natural solutions, but we can also have less of them if we're regularly and continually bringing our stress to God.
Right. And
hmm
that is huge. And then we are able to have more of that calm and balanced
hmm
life that we
Right.
seek.
hmm
Stuff. So
Right.
so that kind of brings us to our verse,
hmm
which is 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you.
Yes.
That is so sweet. I love with everything that goes on in my house, with every phone call I get from a kid, or,
hmm
I love that God knows about it already,
Right.
and
hmm
he just wants me to hand it over to him.
And we have to get in that habit of doing that
Yeah.
because it's real easy to take control and try
And
to figure it out ourselves.
carry that burden all by
hmm
yourself. It brings us back to that burden,
Right.
that we don't have to carry that.
Dear Jesus, thank you so much that you are there for us to carry our burdens. Thank you that you love us and you protect us and you know how much we can and can't handle. And thank you that you are there to handle the stresses for us, even if we think we can handle them ourselves. And I pray for the moms that are listening that are feeling overwhelmed and stressed today, that you will be there and give them peace in their hearts. Help them to realize that you are walking with them and that you are carrying the burden for them, and that they just need to follow and walk through the doors that you open and use the tools and the help that you have provided. I pray that you will bless the moms that are listening and give them a good day with their kids, with their family, help them through the stresses that they are experiencing. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
And you can find me at jodyrandolph.com supporting adoptive moms. If you need adoptive mom coaching, you can check that out on my website. And there's also a link on there for the essential oils.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll put the links to those in the show notes. And you can find Cindy at
nevereasyalwaysgood.com. We talk about real life and real faith.
yes. Bye for now.
Bye bye.